Because loudness is a rare and precious commodity, right?
Right.
Not everyone gets to be loud. You gotta earn it. But motorcycles, they buy loudness, and thus, they suck.
Wow. Okay. But, you know, a road trip would be awesome. Just us three.
I'm down.
We could go wherever we wanted.
I'm there.
What's up everyone, I'm Dan and today I'm going to be looking at Mixtape on the Nintendo Switch 2. I didn't get review code for this one, but it was one that I wanted to play ever since I first saw it, so I bought a copy and decided to do a review for it. Now there's something special about games that can make you feel something and instantly transport you back to a moment, that awkward, exciting, emotional blur of being a teenager. Mixtape captures that sensation beautifully, delivering a stylish and emotional coming-of-age adventure that feels less like a traditional game and more like an interactive memory album soundtracked by some incredible music. Developed by Beethoven and Dinosaur, Mixtape follows three friends on one final night together before life pulls them in different directions. Stacy is preparing to leave town, and what follows is a nostalgic road trip through memories, teenage rebellion, heartbreak, friendship, and self-discovery. It's a short experience at around 3 hours long, but it leaves a surprisingly lasting impact. The first thing that stands out about Mixtape is its incredible soundtrack. Music isn't just background noise here, it's the heart of the entire experience. Every sequence is tied directly to a song, and the game constantly uses music to shape emotion, pacing, and atmosphere. Whether you're skateboarding down suburban streets, flying over the town at night, escaping the police in a runaway shopping cart, or sharing an awkward teenage kiss, everything is perfectly synced to a track that elevates the moment. The soundtrack itself is packed with iconic artists like Joy Division, The Cure, Iggy Pop, and loads more. Even if you don't recognize every artist, the game does a fantastic job of making every song feel meaningful to its particular scene that it's married with. Stacy's passion with music becomes central to her identity, and the game constantly reinforces the idea that music isn't just something people listen to, it becomes attached to memories, relationships, and moments in life. Visually, Mixtape is beautiful. The game has this gorgeous stylized look where characters almost resemble stop motion or claymation figures. Every scene feels handcrafted and cinematic. There's a very retro aesthetic throughout the entire experience that perfectly complements the nostalgic tone of the story. Some scenes genuinely look like playable indie film stills. Gameplay wise, Mixtape is intentionally simple, but that works in its favour. This isn't a game designed to challenge players mechanically, instead it uses gameplay as a storytelling tool. Each memory introduces a different mechanic or interaction, often only lasting a few minutes before moving on to the next scene. Skateboarding, taking photos, setting off fireworks, kissing, hitting baseballs, it constantly throws new ideas at you to match the energy of each memory. What makes this approach work so well is that nothing overstays its welcome. Every section feels carefully designed around the mood of the music and the emotional tone of the scene. The game understands that it's not trying to be difficult, it's trying to make you feel something. In that sense, it succeeds brilliantly. The writing and voice acting also help carry the emotional weight of the story. The performances feel natural and believable, especially during quieter moments where the characters let their emotional walls down. Beneath all the sarcasm, edgy humour, and teenage chaos, there's a very honest story about growing up and drifting apart from people you thought would always be there. There's a bittersweet feeling hanging over almost every scene because the characters know things are changing. That said, the writing won't connect with everyone equally. Much of Mixtape relies heavily on nostalgia and that specific teenage coming-of-age energy. If you don't connect with that tone, some parts may feel overly dramatic or self-indulgent. The main trio can also occasionally come across as a little too cool for their own good, almost like the writers are trying too hard to make them edgy at times. Certain dialogue exchanges feel slightly one-note and stereotypical rather than fully nuanced characters. Some diversity with the characters could have also made the whole thing feel a little more connected to a wider demographic, but as it is, I enjoyed what was there. There are also a few technical issues throughout the experience. I noticed some texture popping and occasional stuttering during transitions or busier scenes. Thankfully, none of these problems were severe enough to ruin the experience, but they are noticeable enough to mention. Still, despite these flaws, Mixtape constantly left a smile on my face. It's funny, heartfelt, stylish, emotional, and incredibly confident at what it wants to be. Few games manage to blend music and gameplay together this naturally. Rather than simply featuring songs, Mixtape transforms music into interactive storytelling. Mixtape understands how powerful small moments can become when viewed through memory. It may not resonate equally with everyone, particularly those who don't connect with its nostalgic tone or teenage angst, but for players willing to embrace its vibe, Mixtape is an unforgettable ride. Short, stylish, emotional, and packed with fantastic music. It's one of those games that feels less like you've played it and more like you lived through it alongside the characters. Mixtape is out now for the Nintendo Switch 2 at $15.99 in the UK and $19.99 in the US. Have you played this one yet, and what do you think about it? Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the review. Don't forget to hit that like button, and until next time.
This is what it must have felt like when Simon and Garfunkel broke up. The soundtrack has abandoned me.
What song was gonna be next?
Well, we were supposed to be buzzed, reminiscing on our way to the party. It was Powder by All Clear.
I think you should still play it. Maybe it'll set us back on the right track. If the music can make the moment, maybe it can change it too.